FPL Game Week 28 team selection. I've been away for the week in Val Thorens, and in that time, Lewis Hall's managed to get himself injured for the rest of the season. Mateus Cunha's managed to get himself suspended for 3 games, and we've also had some FA Cup results. So in today's video, we'll be going through a review of Game Week 27, my current chip strategy, obviously we haven't seen the fixtures yet, and also my team selections for Game Week 28. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button and hit that subscribe, and let's get into it. What's up? It's FPL Vert, where arrows go green, but for the first time in 4 game weeks, they were not green, unfortunately. 5 points off the safety score meant a 7k red arrow, which is not the end of the world. I'm just not too sure I didn't earn this week, because Robinson was my biggest threat, who got 0 points, and then Munoz was my second biggest threat, who got 4 points. But definitely afraid of Munoz this week against Ipswich. But starting from the back, Trent kept his 3rd clean sheet in 4 games. Gabriel kept his 3rd clean sheet in 5, took him some bonus as well. The big news was, of course, Captain Cole Palmer, who took 7 shots, supplied 1 key pass, and managed to miss 2 big chances on his way to 1.17 expected goal involvement in a very disappointing blank against Southampton. That's now 6 games without a goal for him. So, of course, the major captain threat was Mohamed Salah, but he returned just a single assist, so we just missed out on 3 points, thankfully. Brian Mbeumo assisted Wissa against Everton to wipe out Pickford's clean sheet. Justin Kluivert unleashed a rasping strike in Bournemouth's narrow loss to Brighton, but took home all the bonus. And ISAK's unavailability, surprisingly, enabled Rodgers' auto-sub points, so we'll take that all day long. And Cunha, in his first game for us, managed to blank and has since received another red card and will now miss 3 games, and so he won't play a Premier League game for over a month now. And of course, Hall, who I had benched against Liverpool, has now suffered a season-ending foot injury, so we're going to have to deal with that at some point also. So just looking ahead at the FPL calendar, given this is how we usually determine our chip strategies, so the fixture guru Ben Kellen has updated his graphic, and as we already know, Game Week 29 is a confirmed blank, because that's the week of the Carabao Cup final, and of course Liverpool versus Newcastle meant that their games against Crystal Palace and Aston Villa respectively can't go ahead that weekend. So of course the Liverpool and Aston Villa game was already rescheduled into Game Week 25, and we know that the Crystal Palace Newcastle game will be put into Game Week 32. That is confirmed now. So thinking to use the triple captain chip in that week, most likely. But after that we don't actually know anything else, because we don't know for sure the results of the quarterfinals, and they're quite tough to call really, apart from Aston Villa of course. And so whoever gets through into the semi-final will blank in 34, and then that should get put into Game 33 or 35 or 36. We don't actually know yet. But if it goes the way that we think it will, then we'll probably want to use the free hit in Game Week 33 to maximise doubles. Use a wildcard probably to navigate 34, depending on who goes through. And then of course the FPL, the semi-finals as well, will cause blanks as well. So basically, don't use your chips yet. We'll get the results of the quarterfinals before Game Week 30, but we also want to know when the fixtures will be rescheduled, because it doesn't always follow the way that we usually think it does. Of course, for example, we didn't think that there would be a double Game Week 25, but there was. So definitely hold off on your chips, and I will update you on what I'm doing anyway. Into the team selection, and Jordan Pickford travels to Molineux, having increased their unbeaten run to 7 league games. Wolves will now be missing their talisman, top goal scorer, and 2nd highest assister in the league in Mateus Cunha, following his red card in his side's defeat to Bournemouth in the FA Cup. So let's hope for some returns here, maybe some saves, perhaps a cheeky clean sheet. Trent Alexander-Arnold played the full 90 as Liverpool snatched victory away at PSG, and he'll hopefully start in the league against Southampton, following returns in each of the past 4 game weeks for the Liverpool right back. The Saints have scored just 3 goals in that time span, with only Leicester scoring 3, so opportunities on both ends of the pitch for Trent here. Gabriel Magalhaes travels to Old Trafford to face old rivals Manchester United. Arsenal are fresh off a record-breaking away performance in the Champions League, as the Gunners became the first team in the history of Europe's elite competition to score 7 goals away from home in a knockout game. So they should be in good spirits against the 14th placed Red Devils, who have just 1 league win in the past 4 games against relegation strugglers Ipswich Town. James Hill will get the call up following Lewis Hall's season-ending foot injury, and it's all internal solutions at the moment because I need to roll the transfer to set up for blank game week 29 next week. So Tottenham away is not the best fixture and is not ideal, but hopefully a bit of Europa fatigue combined with Bournemouth having a full week to prepare should make this a bit better. Not expecting clean sheet though. Mohamed Salah played 86 minutes against PSG, so we'd expect his minutes to be managed. And Southampton are in dire defensive form at the moment, conceding 11 goals in the past 3 game weeks. So it's very hard to back against the Egyptian king when Cole Palmer has gone very cold, not scoring in 6 games. Bryan Mbeumo's assist in game week 27 was his 4th return in 5 game weeks. Aston Villa have not kept a clean sheet in 7 game weeks now, and travelled to Belgium midweek for Club Brugge before this trip to West London. So hopefully there's some returns for Bryan Mbeumo again. Justin Kluivert is the 2nd highest scoring midfielder across the last 6 game weeks, with his effort from range against Brighton his 5th goal in that time span, in addition to 3 assists as well. Spurs have conceded 23 big chances in their last 6 home matches, with only Southampton faring worse in this regard, so let's hope his run continues. As mentioned, Cole Palmer has now gone 6 game weeks without a goal now, but Leicester have lost 4 games in a row also, and they've conceded 12 goals in the process, so maybe he returns this time, but can we really back him for captaincy? Not too sure. Morgan Rogers travels to West London, and Brentford remain the only team in the Premier League that have failed to keep a home clean sheet this whole season, with 26 home goals conceded, the 5th most in the entire division. So let's hope he scores in back-to-back weeks. Chris Wood hosts Man City in a pretty pivotal game in terms of the race for the top 4, so we'll be hoping for some points here, given that City's defensive form hasn't been the best. And Alexander Isak, Eddie Howe said that it was fatigue that forced him off in the FA Cup game against Brighton in their loss, and they'll probably need him for the West Ham game because they've now kept back-to-back clean sheets following up their impressive 1-0 away at Arsenal with a 2-0 solid victory against Leicester. So under new coach Graham Potter, they've only conceded 8 goals in 7 game weeks now, and only Liverpool, Arsenal and Palace have a better record. So I'm sure if Isak is fit, he'll play. So as mentioned, Cunha is suspended and Hall is out for the season apparently. So we'll have to deal with that at some point, but I want to upgrade Cunha to Haaland next week, but I can't do that without downgrading Palmer, who, despite being very disappointing, I do kind of need him for the Leicester game. So I'm just going to roll the transfer this week and deal with everything next week. So if you have any questions for your team, and I've been getting a lot of questions, just drop them in the comments, just DM me on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll answer them before the deadline. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.